Good morning. Happy Monday. Are you guys ready to rock and roll or what? I have never been more in the Christmas spirit, I don't think, in my entire life. Like, I love Christmas so much right now. I can't cope. I wear a Christmas sweatshirt every day. In fact, to the point where my husband was like, "Are you wearing the same shirt every day?" I'm like, "No, I just have so many Christmas shirts. They look similar." Okay. And I'm loving it. But it got me thinking because it's like how I feel about Christmas is how I feel about Plexus. That same excited energy to see our people, to do our Christmas party, to hang out, to give gifts, to sign people up. It's that same excitement level that really moves the needle forward. And so I said in the chat, I said, I'm going to be talking today about how to create momentum and move your business forward. It is 100% one thing. One thing will move your business forward. 100%. The key to success, like let's think about this for a second, is one thing. If you want to move your business forward, and I'm going to tell you in a second, but I want you to picture, do you hit a rank and then kind of rest? You're kind of like, okay, like I'm good. Like, woo, I hit it. And now I'm just going to kind of like coast. That is your limit. That is the glass ceiling that you've put on yourself of what you will accept. I heard this one story one time. She was on a cruise and she was talking to somebody about losing weight and all this stuff. And this man and wife were standing there and he said, well, everybody has a weight they won't get to. Everybody in their head has a weight that is unacceptable to them. That they will then kick into gear. They're like, I weigh more than I did when I was pregnant, or I weigh more than I did when this. And then you kick it into gear and you don't let it happen, right? Are you guys tracking with me here? We all have a limit that we will not accept. We all have a limit where all of a sudden we'll make a change if that happens. So it's the same in the business, right? I had a limit that was unacceptable to me. My limit was I'm going diamond. I don't know how. I don't know exactly all that I'm going to do, but that was anything else is unacceptable to me. No rank was acceptable to me until I hit diamond. And now it's gone up and on, right? Now I want 4-star diamond. I want 5-star diamond. What does that look like, right? You have to have that belief that nothing is acceptable until you've hit that goal. You have to have that desire for change more than you have it to stay where you are. You have to be willing to get out of your comfort zone and look at your triggers, your traumas, and your crap that keep you where you are, that keep you believing that this is all I can have, this is all that I'm going to work for, this is all that I deserve. You have to see bigger picture. So what's your limit? What are you like, okay, like I'll accept this. I'll accept this. Or what is unacceptable to you and that you will do anything. So I want you to grab a piece of paper before I tell you the key to energy, the key to momentum, the key to success. I want you to take a piece of paper and a pen. And I want you to write down everything that you are unwilling to do for your business. I'm unwilling to miss basketball. I'm unwilling to miss dinner time. I'm unwilling to message 100 people a day. I mean, I want you to think big and deep. What are you not willing to do? I'm unwilling to post twice a day. I'm unwilling to be coachable. I'm unwilling, like, be honest with yourself. Be really honest with yourself. What are you unwilling to do? Because we all have that, right? So if you've listened to all these great coachings and all these great mentorships and all these great things, and you're not taking action, you're unwilling, right? So did you say you were going to do an opportunity call once a month and record it and use it for everything? And then you don't do it? Are you unwilling? What is your unwilling list? And I want you to drop some of those in the comments. I want everyone to unmute, actually, turn your camera on and tell me one thing that you are unwilling to do. Just start. You can just unmute and tell me one thing that you wrote down on your unwilling list.
Cold message people.
Okay. Michael?
I'm not willing to miss my kids' event, major events like concerts and stuff.
Okay. What else?
I don't want to miss time with my grandsons.
Okay. What else?
I'm unwilling to not make my family a priority.
So good.
I am not willing to let myself and my family down.
Okay, Nicole. Okay. Now, let me ask you this. Who on here has messaged 100 people in a day? Raise your hand if you have. Who on here has messaged 200 people in one day in a 24-hour time period? Okay, so go ahead and write that on your list. If you didn't raise your hand, I've been unwilling to message 100 or 200 people. If you're messaging 200 people a day and your business isn't where you want it to be, you need to call me. You need to call me, okay? On the telephone, we need to be talking. 200 people a day, right? We did a mastermind call. We have a Ruby and above group where you get to listen in, and Joanna talks about messaging 200 people a day. Your unwilling list, okay? Every reason on there, even the great reasons, even the wonderful, beautiful reasons, are all the things that stand in between you and the business that you want. Now, does that mean you miss your kids' events and your family and all that stuff? No, that's not what that means. But what I'm saying is all of those things are reasons that we focus on why we can't be successful. I can't be successful and run a successful family. I can't be successful and go to all my kids' events. I can't be successful and prioritize time with my family. And that is not true. That is not true. Your willing to do list needs to be as long as it possibly can. Your willing to do list needs to be so big that you're willing to cold message. You are willing to send out 100 messages a day. You are willing to post on your social media. You are willing. Now, this is for people that want to go to the top. Okay. So I'm going to be real clear about that too. Like, this is not a feel good message for if you're like, I'm silver and I love it. Like, I love being silver. I love it. Like, this is so fun. This is so great. I'm really talking to the people that are like, you know what? It would really make impact and change my life to go to the next level. So I want you guys to be thinking about, what am I willing to do? Because talking about your business, commenting on other people's businesses, commenting on other people's posts, messaging people who are on your team already is not working your business. It is not working your business. Fixating on problems you cannot fix is not focusing and working your business. And so I love the list of what I'm unwilling to do, because it really allows you to look at, wow, okay, I haven't been willing to message 50 people a day. You're not going to get to 100 if you can't do 50. Wow, I'm not even messaging 5 people. If you can honestly say you've been messaging 5 people a day consistently every day, that's 35 people a week, and you are not seeing the success that you want to see, seriously call me. I'm not joking. If you're not doing it, it needs to be on your I am unwilling list. And then you need to look at that list and say, okay, I am willing to change this. I'm willing to get uncomfortable and realize that maybe something isn't where it needs to be. So that's the first order of business, right? Is what am I willing to do to change my numbers? Well, it only makes sense the more people you message, the more people you connect with, the more people you talk with, the more people you're going to have join your team. The more people you talk with your team about, right? The more events you're doing, the more things that you have going on, the more results you're going to see, because it is a numbers game like any other business, right? You want to grow your church. You want to grow your business. You want to grow, maybe you want to grow your family, right? You grow by adding in people. So you have to go out and grab people. You have to be willing to have those conversations. And so one thing that Natalie Fuller talks about is having one business conversation every single day. Are you willing? And now most of us are like, yeah, I am. Monday, Tuesday. And then Wednesday rolls around and you get busy and it's the easy thing to forget. And all that is that you haven't updated your identity to believe that you can actually hit the next level in your business. So Keith talks about an alter ego. Okay. So I want you to picture Sasha Fierce versus Beyonce. Who is your alter ego? Maybe in Plexus. Who's your alter ego? Who's your spirit animal where you're just like, oh my gosh, I love that person. I want to be like that person. I want to command the room like that person. I want to have the community and the culture like that person. I want you to have that person in your mind. And then I want you to picture, do you think that they're unwilling to have a business conversation every day? Do you think that they're afraid to cold message? Do you think that they're afraid to post multiple times a day on their social media? Do you think that they're ever messaging their upline and being like, I'm just not sure. I don't know. Do you think that they're doing any of those things? Do you think that they're giving into their fears and doubts? Do you think that they need consistent over like all the time coaching? Or do you think that they're independent? Do you think that they're digging their heels in and they're going? Like, write some things down in the chat where you feel like, man, my alter ego, my person that I would look up to, the person that I would want to be more like, has these attributes that I don't have right now. And just drop some in the comments. Like, what does that look like? Another way to paraphrase this thought is if Kinley Severns was moving into your town next door to you, if Brooke Hemingway was moving in next door to you, if Megan Milakovic just bought the farm next door, okay, if Brittany Howard and Christina Williams were coming and they were moving in to your town, I want you to drop in the comments how you would feel. If Emily Roberts was coming, how would you feel? Would you be like, awesome? Or would you be like, oh snap, I got to get out there and get to work? Your unwilling to-do list is the 100% thing that is stopping you from doing and getting to the next level. I'm unwilling. Okay. So I'm going to give a Megan story. When we first started, I remember being like, you have to message 5 people a day. Like, that's what we're doing. We're messaging 5 people a day. And she would literally be up at like midnight. And one time, like she's like, I'm like crying because like, I don't want to message these people. And Phil was just like, you said you wanted this. You said you wanted this. Did you message your 5 people? She's like, well, no, I guess you're doing it right now. And that kind of accountability. Yeah, he kicked you out of bed. That kind of that kind of discipline, a diamond. It's not, I'm going to tell Lisa's story. We just went on a road trip to Alabama and I made so much fun of her. She's in there. She's got to do 2 workouts a day because she's doing 75 hard. She was lifting weights in the car on the way to Alabama because she's like, I said I was going to do it, so I'm doing it. That is the kind of discipline and work ethic that a diamond becomes. You have to be more willing to do the stuff than you're unwilling to do it. It doesn't mean that it's easy. It doesn't mean that you're not scared. It doesn't mean that you're not fearful. It doesn't mean that you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do it. But you do it anyway. You send those 5 messages. You write down on your paper, I am unwilling. It is unacceptable to me to only send 2 messages a day. It is unacceptable to me. My new comfort zone is 5 messages a day, regardless of what's happening. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm sending 5 messages a day. I'm sending 10 messages a day. The more numbers you have on your sheet, the bigger the business, the faster it'll go. What are you willing to do? What are you unwilling to do? So if you write down, I'm willing to do 5 messages a day, then put down, I'm unwilling to do 6. Come on, I'm talking to somebody. Because here's the truth of it, is that we all have that limit of what we're unwilling to do. And most of the time, it's just because we're afraid. We're afraid. And so we just don't do it. So what can you do to change that fear feeling? And I'm going to give you tangible things, okay, that actually worked for me when I felt afraid, when I felt like, I feel like I'm doing all the things, but really what I was doing is I was posting and praying. Really what I was doing is micromanaging my team. Really what I was doing was not inviting to opportunity events, was not inviting, was not messaging, right? And so what I would do is when I needed to get into that space, I'm a social creature. So these things worked for me. I would set up Zooms with my team and we would message 100 people at a time. We would call them emergency Zooms and we would message 100 people. Everybody would come with a list of 100. We would give 24 hours notice. Lisa's nodding her head because she's like, yeah, we did this. And we would get on a Zoom and we would message 100 people in a day. Those are things that I would do to create accountability for myself, is because I knew if I was inviting my team, I had to do it. So though that's one thing, right? Set up an event with your team of where you're like, this is what we're doing. We're doing, Lisa set up a messaging blitz for her team today. Message 25 people, you get entered for a gift card, whatever that is. So setting up an accountability system for yourself that actually will work for you. Okay. So maybe I can't do 5 a day, but I could do 100 in a week. I could do 100 every Friday, right? So whatever that looks like for you is getting a system in place to do that. The next thing is I listen to something every single day, but especially when I'm feeling like I don't want to do something, when I'm feeling tired or I'm feeling my belief is low, I'm going to listen to something that literally like blows my mind, gives me chills. I'm very emotionally connected to music. I'm emotionally connected to really like preachy, like throw it down speakers. I love that kind of stuff. So I'll go listen to some Nick Saban and I'll go listen to some Rocky music and I'll go listen to Les Brown and I'll go listen something that reminds me this is not free. Success is not free. Success is what am I willing to do to get it? And so when you put that in perspective, okay, like, and this is going to step on some toes and I'm going to say I'm sorry, but not sorry. Okay. When you put it in perspective, diamonds or people who are where you want to be were just willing to do more. They were willing to do what you haven't been yet. And so taking that responsibility on and saying, okay, it's just something, because if she can do it, I can do it. And that is what you should see at every convention. If she can do it, I can do it. If he can do it, I can do it. There is no respecter of persons. Some of us have a longer journey to come from depending on where we started. I was not a fast diamond, right? I had a longer, slower in between than some people, right? But I was unwilling. It was unacceptable to me to stay where I was. I wouldn't accept it. It drove me so much further because I just wouldn't accept it. And so The next thing I want to talk to you about is positioning. I'm seeing it everywhere. I'm seeing positioning like in so many places. I listened to it on a podcast this morning. Keith Callahan's, one of his Instagram things was on positioning. It is everything. If you keep positioning yourself like you don't know what you're doing, like you need your upline for everything, or like you're unsure, or I don't know, just inauthentic. If you keep positioning yourself in that place, you're never going to have people that will want to go where you're going. So on this podcast this morning, she talked about how she started. She did an opportunity event every month. That's not a huge commitment. She would post it. She would invite to it. She would tell everybody, I'm running an opportunity event. So let's say Sean gets on there and he's like, I'm running an opportunity event. I want you to hop on and I want you to listen and I want to invite you into what my opportunity event is. And he records it. She says she does her first one and she's like, I invited a lot of people and nobody came. And she said, but in that moment, and this is the difference, and this is why I'm always saying it's thinking differently. It's not always what you're doing. It's thinking differently. This is how a diamond thinks. She said, in that moment, I was like, oh no, no one's here. 99% of people would be like, and like, I'll hop off. No one's here. She does it anyway and pretends that there's 100 people on there and hits record. She practices how she's going to present the opportunity because she's uncomfortable doing it, hits record, and then sends it to the people who said they were going to come but couldn't come, and sends it and uses it all month long for prospecting. The next month she does it, she had one business builder hop on and one potential hop on. She does it again. And she's like, and I posted, I just had a massively successful call. This is me doing my call. I'm so excited. This is so great. And she created a position for herself that I do the things every time I say I'm going to do them. And I'm going to leverage this for my good. I'm going to leverage this for my business. So a lot of times we think that when no one shows up or no one comes or no one responds, oh, I'm sending 100 messages, but no one answered, we quit. And we never send 100 messages again, right? That's not the point. The point is can you believe in yourself enough that you're unstoppable? That you become unstoppable. So that month I talk about all the time when I'm just adding 30 to 40 people a month to my business, my team. And I think this is the month I'm going Senior Ruby. It was December and we added 7 people to our team and I cried my eyes out. I thought, this is over. This is it. It's done. But there was something inside me that was like, it was unacceptable to me. It was unacceptable to me. So you know what I did is I changed my thoughts. I was like, those 7 people matter. Those are 7 people I didn't have last month. Am I doing a good job with those 7 people that just joined? If you're not happy with your joins, you're not taking care of the people that are joining. You're not connecting in. You're not messaging them. You're not saying, oh my gosh, you need to share. Have you shared your link? You should let people know you got to grab one person. If you're not talking with them and connecting with them continuously, your joins will never increase. So it's really about getting in there and connecting in with the people that are joining. Are you taking care of the joins you have? What a great question. What a great question. Because so many times it's like, if we're aggravated and feeling frustrated, why won't my team grow? Why won't my team grow? Are you taking care of your customers? Because repeat customers love the experience they have. Customers will share an experience that they've loved. So really, you could argue that customer service is the bulk of our business. Because if they love the experience they're having, so let me ask you this question alongside positioning. This may be a little bit of a longer Zoom this morning. Are you guys liking this? Is this good stuff? Okay. Let me ask you this question. If you have a customer and you sign them up and you talk to them one time and then never again, have you positioned yourself as a successful business person? If you sign them up and it takes you 2 weeks to message them about the referral link and grabbing a friend, are you showing signs and habits of a successful person. How we position ourselves is really and truthfully so much about how our habits and how we're showing up in our business. And so things where we kind of let them slide, or if I'm not welcoming someone to the team page within 24 hours of signing them up, if I'm not getting them in a 3-way chat within 24 hours of signing them up, if I'm not telling them about their referral link before they sign up, and then again when they sign up, and then again when they've actually, got their products in, am I showing signs of somebody who actually wants to create a business? No, I'm showing signs of somebody who's like, this is my hobby. I'll get to you when I have time. So somebody who is showing signs of this is my business. So this lady on here on this podcast, she said she's 45 level 1 6-figure earners. And my mind was blown. I'm like, wow, that just gave me a whole new reason to a whole new level of what I even believed was possible. And she said she runs a power hour like we do every Monday. And she has the whole time. So I'm like really proud of our power. I was like, okay, we doing that, boo. But she says on there that she tells her people, I'm available for you. I am not too busy to answer your questions. I am not too busy to connect in with you and do this with you. Are you positioning yourself as someone that's ready to work? Or are you positioning yourself as someone who's ready to run away from work because you're so busy doing so many other things? And she talks about communicating that to her level 1s. I communicate, I am not too busy for you. Right? Now, there's a time limit to that, of course, but like when you're building and you're helping them build, you've got to be available. You've got to be available for your people. And so positioning ourselves, I want you to think about, and I'd love for you to write down a little list next to your unwilling to do list. I would love you to write down how you're going to position yourself, that maybe there are certain things you're like, oh, that's something I need to work on. I need to make sure within 24 hours, this, and this, and this is happening. Right? Because of course, there's no shame in all these things. Like we're all learning and growing. And so, but what is that habit that you really need to change to position yourself differently? Because can I tell you, when I signed up for Plexus, the way my upline positioned herself was, I'm very successful at this. You will be successful at this. You can do this. She positioned herself as somebody with influence and knew what she was doing, so I trusted her immediately. So I was extremely coachable to what she was saying because I knew she knew what she was talking about. You have to position yourself of not from desperation, like I need you, but from a place of you need me. I'm going to help you. I want to help you if you want to be helped. So I can take anybody, any customer, and bring them in and help them go gold. I have zero doubts about that. I can take a customer who told me they were never going to do the business, and I'm like, you're about to be gold. It may take a minute to get you there, but I trust because I'm going to position myself in a way that says, I say these things exactly. I'm not good at a lot of things, but I'm excellent at what I do with this. And if you want to earn $1,000 this month, I have zero doubts that we can make that happen. Let's go. If you want to earn, and when you're just starting, start with 3 people. If you want to earn $500 this month, I can 100% help you do that. Keith Callahan says they have 3 questions. Can I do this? Can you help me do this? And how do I do it? So if I tell them, I know you can make $500 this month, I have zero doubt. Let's go. When you position yourself in a way that's I'm successful and I'm going to help you be successful. And if you're already silver, you're successful at helping people go silver. Own that. Amber Rosny tells a story. She's a sapphire now. She tells a story that she actually thought Megan was close to emerald when she joined because Megan kept saying, I'm really good at this. She was making videos on how to go gold as a gold ambassador. What does that do? Well, it shows the lighted path for people to come on and do what you've done. You can be successful at helping people go silver and gold. If you're a gold ambassador, that's amazing. Let people know I'm a gold ambassador. I can help you go gold all day long. If you've developed a gold, you should be shouting that from the rooftops on your social media. I just helped this girl go silver. I just helped this guy go gold. I just helped this person. Oh, me and my team, me and my girl, she's gold and I'm gold. Like we doing this together. Whatever it is, like shouting out your wins to people positions you in a different light to people. They realize you're successful. Megan did an amazing story after our Christmas party. She had a picture of her and 3 of her teammates, and she said, we're all going on a cruise. We all earned a $2,000 shopping spree. We all are blah, 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 making money, whatever it was. What does that show? Megan positioned herself to be like, I'm a mentor. I am really good at this business. Right? It's not just fly by night and hoping for it. It's thinking differently. You all have all the tools you need to do this. You just need to think differently. You need to think differently. How can I position myself in a place where it's successful? So maybe you're silver and you're wondering, how do I do that? Well, I'll tell you what I did at silver. I made a video on how to go silver. This is how you go silver. And if I can do it, I know you can do it. So to tie it all together, what is the one thing that you need to build momentum and build a business? And I said it was the one thing. It was the most important thing because I can give all these strategy things, but it will not fail. Someone will be like, I did all the things and it's just not working. It's your energy. It's your energy. It's how you're showing up. If you think you're a boss, if you think you're a diamond, your energy's different. You're not fixated on what's going wrong. You're fixated on what's going right. And I think that when we hear energy, I know for me anyway, I picture a loud, boisterous person. I picture like outgoing. I picture over the top, high energy, even annoying. That's not what we're talking about. High energy is high belief. I'm unstoppable. So what makes my story inspiring to people? What makes me inspiring to people is a huge part of that is my story. But is it my story? Well, no, that's not really true because a lot of people have my story or something similar, lots of trauma, lots of things happen to a lot of people. It's how we react. It's the energy in which we show up in. It was like, yeah, my husband died. Well, watch me rock this widow thing, right? That was my attitude. My parents died and I'm an orphaned widow. Okay, watch me become the most successful person in my family because I'm about to freaking do it. I'm about to mic drop this place and I'm about to do the damn thing. And you become unstoppable in your mind. It didn't matter to me what everybody else was doing. Put your blinders on. And if you really, really, really want this more than you want your unwilling to do list, more than you want anything else, because it does take that slight obsession for a while to get it to where you want it to be. It means it's midnight and I haven't sent my 5 messages. It means it's 9 a.m. and I feel tired and I want to sleep in longer. It means it's 6:30 a.m. wake up calls because I got to get my messages in. It means turning off Netflix instead. Sometimes it means missing the games to get on a call. Sometimes it means stepping out of the gym. I've done so many calls in the car, in a basketball court, on a football field, because it matters to me. And what I've learned in that process is what I thought would take away from my kids and my family is actually what it's giving to them. It's showing them your dreams are possible, but girl, you got to work for it. This is not free. This is not free. Success leaves clues. Are you creating habits? Are you creating systems? Are you creating thoughts that are the next level? Or are you still fixated on someone fix my problems for me? I got to call them because I can't work this out myself. Right? It's how you position yourself. How am I positioning myself? I want to be the leader of my team. I don't want to be the follower of someone else's team. I want to be the leader of my own team. So I look to my downline and I start working in my downline. I start making sure that these are my non-negotiables, just like your non-negotiable weight, right? What's your non-negotiable? I will do XYZ every day. It is my non-negotiable. And that is how you create momentum. You show up in the best energy you possibly got. And you show up with a drive that you've never had before. And you don't settle for less and it becomes a non-negotiable. Okay. Any questions? This is a beautiful time if you're feeling vulnerable or you're feeling triggered or you're feeling any of those, all the buzzwords. If you're feeling anything, like this is a good time to just say, hey, I need a little coaching.
I have a question, Alita.
Mhm.
So on the concept of messaging 5 people a day, for instance, you said that over and over. Is it 5 different people every day, or can it be messaging 5 people that you've messaged before? Or
What do you feel like for your goals in your business? Like, what do you think that would look like?
unfortunately, I think it would look like, staring at a brick wall, thinking it's going to do something different, messaging the same people over and over again.
Boom. And he comes in and he knows and he drops the mic. I love it. Yes. Yes, exactly. So it's 5 new people. It's 5 different people. And if you're unsure, like seriously, you guys go to YouTube and look how to expand my network, how to grow my network. Go to your friends section in your Facebook and look up, right? A lot of you have a lot of friends on there. If you have 2,000 friends, that's a list of 2,000 people. If you have a list of 700 people, that's way more than they had in network marketing day in the back in the day, right? And there's great messages to send that we can drop into the messenger in the energy bus. But really and truthfully, it's messaging people and doing it with the right energy and doing it with new people and getting connected in with new people. That was a great question.
And follow-up question to that is, and I may be the only one here, but a lot of times I feel like I'm like that used car salesman trying to sell you a Yugo or, a ketchup popsicle with white gloves on effect. And then I'm sounding too sales pitchy instead of, you know, hey, look, I've got this and everybody needs it, and that kind of thing.
Lisa, would you coach this question?
Yes, I was just going to start typing. Really, Sean, just know, like when you're starting to message, like what Alita said about the energy behind it, like that belief, right? Like when I go and message someone and invite them to our New Year's challenge that's starting in January, guess what? I know I'm offering them something amazing, something that literally can change their life. So that's kind of the heart behind when I message, knowing I'm offering them something. I'm inviting them to something that's going to be beneficial to them. So I know that I'm bringing value to their life, to their day, and it doesn't matter how they respond even. but it's like, I'm going to invite them in and offer this to them. And if they say, no, I'm not interested, I say, thank you so much for responding. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, it really doesn't matter. Just knowing that. And that's why I love these challenges, because it's exciting. Like, we literally watch Dina Sullivan. Do you think she's thankful that I invited her to the inflammation challenge? You better believe it. So I know that we have this tool to offer it to everybody that we know. Do you know what I mean? So really, I think it's the heart. It's like getting into that mindset of being excited about inviting them, loving what we're inviting them to, and then just run with it.
Love it. Love it. I knew you'd have a good thing to say. So I noticed in the comments, it said, I don't know, I fall short on I don't know what to say. And then a lot of people commented on that. I still feel that way a lot. Okay. So here's the question. Okay, Lisa. Yes.
I think a big part of that is like paying attention to what's going on in people's lives, like responding. Like, if I see someone that tells me they're struggling with migraines, you better believe they're getting a message from me. If I see someone that's looking for a job, you better believe they're getting a message from me. And then that's why it's beautiful, Nicole, because I think Nicole said something about what to send people. It's like these challenges give us a reason to message people. Makes it so easy. It's like brainless work. Like, you just do it. You know what I mean? But I think paying attention to social media of what's going on in people's life is a really important thing on how to message.
I love that. Paying attention. The other thing is slow down. If you have to message every time to say, what do I say? If you stop messaging and you're like, what do I say? I don't know what to say, so I'm just not going to message. Okay. I relate to this feeling. And you know what I tell myself? Discipline yourself. Y'all aren't going to like this answer. I'm just going to tell you the truth, though. It's that we don't want to think. We want someone else to think for us, right? We want to know, well, what do I say? What do I say to this person? And I love it because Joanna Slavin says, I don't know what to say to that person because I'm not messaging that person. So I could write you a message. She's like, but I'm not going to just spit you out a message. You have to slow down and think about the message that you want to send. So while verbiage is super helpful, it's not everything. And to slow down and think about what do I want to say to this person? So Joanna is a very high recruiter. They recruit 20 to 30 people a month, every single month. And she's like, what I say to people is I'm intentional. Like, this is my job. I'm intentional with what I'm messaging. So when people say, what is plexus? And you keep getting stuck on the same dang question, or you're like, I'm not sure what to say. What do I say? Make a video today. Hey, Fran, my name's Rachel. Hey, Fran, it's Nicole here. Hey, this is Jen Jones. Whatever. I want to tell you what plexus is, because you're probably wondering what's plexus, and I'm not always great at explaining it. So I made this video because I wanted to just do a really good job so you'd understand. Plexus is blah, blah, blah. It helps balance your blood sugar, gives you more energy, and helps you feel amazing. I'm going to tell you the top 3 reasons why I love Plexus, a little bit about the products, and I want you to know at the end of this video that you can also share with friends and get your products covered and make thousands and thousands of dollars a month. If that's something you're interested in, let me hook you up. Stop allowing the same excuses to stop you in your tracks from growing. If you keep getting the same questions, make a video and start utilizing that in your system of how can I help people? If your team keeps asking you, what do I say to what is plexus? People will never share if they don't know what to say. Most people don't want to think. They want it easy. They feel entitled to just tell me what to do and I'll do it, right? As a leader, as someone who's growing your team and your business, You really need to have that next level of, okay, I'm going to help them with what is the answer to what is plexus. So when I was really building, I have videos on everything. You can go on YouTube and look. What is plexus? How to get started, how to build a business, how to go silver, how to go gold, how to do this, how to do that, how to go senior gold, it's all on there. Because at every level, I would make a video. At every next thing, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this so that I can reach more people. And the more you can stop people from stopping themselves because they're not sure. Lisa's brother taught me this. If you're afraid or uncomfortable, they're afraid and uncomfortable. So if you don't know what to say to people, your people don't know what to say to people. So that's the gaping link missing in your duplication system. If you're not confident in talking about the business, your people won't be confident in talking about the business. If you're not positioned in a place of feeling like I've got influence, I'm confident, I know exactly what I'm doing. And all you have to do is literally, if you hit silver, okay, who on here? I'm pretty sure everybody on here, I know all your ranks. Okay. If you've hit gold, how did you do it? Rachel, how did you go gold?
By helping others go silver,
Okay, great.
business
Jen
building.
Jones, how did you go gold? Because you're senior gold.
I don't have any builders under me and it's exhausting. I'm
How did you go gold?
Continuous follow-up.
Okay, great.
Continuous follow-up.
Continuous follow-up and helping people go silver. Perfect. Janie, how did you go gold? Oh, you're muted, sis. Sorry. I know it's on your phone. You got to hit it and then go down. It's annoying.
So developing a couple of silvers.
Boom. Okay, Nicole, how did you go gold?
I developed a couple silvers and then recruiting, but I mean, it was me getting uncomfortable recruiting, that's for dang sure.
Okay, love it. So if you've gone gold, you all just told me how you went gold. If you've gone silver, ask yourself, this is such a great question. When you feel like you don't know what to do, I literally take a pen. If I'm like, I just don't know how, I don't know how to get this person over. I don't know how, I take a pen and I ask myself this question. This is true. This is a true habit that I have. What do I know? What do I know? And that's where I'm going to focus because that's what I know to do for sure. And then I'm going to make a video. And I'm going to train this down. Okay. I'm going to train this down because like Dina's saying, she talks to every person, right? Lives it, breathes it. She is plexus. Yes. The other part to this, my friends, is are you positioning yourself to a place where your team understands what to do? I'm talking about building a business, not just building your customer base. There is absolutely zero freaking reason that if you have 20 people, 50 people, 60 people on your team, that you should not have major builders somewhere. Conversations you aren't having, your business is on the other side of that. Your business that you desire is from the conversations you're not having. Do all of your level ones get the same message? Are they being asked to do shout outs multiple times? What do I know to do? Write it down. Am I doing those things? No? Okay, I need to do that. What can I do with the opportunities that I have? If you have 30 joins a month, if you have 5 joins a month, what were your joins in November? And I want you to double it. And then I want you to ask your brain, how do I double this? Not, oh my gosh, I'll never get there. I can't do it. What do I get? No, how can I? And then I'm going to sit there and I'm going to write whatever comes. How can I double the size of my joins? This works at every single level. Mine used to be, okay, 60 felt like so many people to join my team. And now, truthfully, we're at 60 about 3 days in. Never dreamed that that would be possible when I started. But this is where that skill set came from, is I was coachable, and it was, what do I know to do? What can I do to move this needle forward? So if I'm not developing leaders and I'm not developing any builders underneath me, what can I do to help those people? What conversations am I not having that I need to start having? What video can I make to alleviate the same questions or alleviate my awkwardness from stopping me from taking the next step? Where I really think, and this is just funny, and I'm not really sure exactly how to verbalize it yet, but where I really think the difference is, and this is what I see with people, is you'll go a certain distance, but you won't go that next step. It's like you'll put people in the chat, but you won't really go the next step. You won't really like connect in, drive in, do what it takes. It's like, hey, friend, you can share your referral link. But it's like really deep down, it's the next level that you take where the success is. Does that make sense? It's like, I don't even know how to verbalize it, I guess, but like, it's like taking that next level of time of thinking. Okay, they're not responding to me. So instead of just letting it go, I want to come in here and be like, hey, can we get on a call to check up? It's reading the room. It's reading the conversation. It's understanding, okay, they're a busy person. I don't even ask busy people for a call. I just call them. Because you know what? To me, it's mediocre when I'm asked for a call. I'm like, you're mediocre energy. I don't want it. Just call me. I don't know how to explain that, but it's like high achievers don't want you to ask them for a call. They don't want to like look at their schedule. Just call me. Stop delaying. Stop delaying progress. It actually pisses high achievers off. So when you're doing that, right? It's like, what does Nick Saban say? He says, mediocre people hate successful people and successful people hate mediocre people. It's like there's this energy, right? It's like a drain. It's like, if you can't figure out your own problem, you can't do, it's like, oh my gosh. Right? But it increases the level of your standard. Where's your standard of your non-negotiable? It is non-negotiable to me that in 24 hours, when you sign up, you're getting welcome to my team page, you're getting put in a three-way chat, you're being told about the referral link for the third time, and I'm freaking calling you when you get your products. Right? Whatever that is, whatever your non-negotiable, like I'm unwilling to not do this, right? It's moved over to my willing list. I am willing to do this no matter what. I'm willing. How can I make this happen? I can set alarms on my phone and I can remind myself. I can have an accountability partner that I give full permission to be like, hey, check in with me. If I'm not posting, right? As an upline, I'm an accountability partner. Hey, you said you wanted this. If you're not going to do it, right? If you notice your upline distancing, it's probably because you're not doing the things, right? So it's like, you've got to think about, am I doing the things that are bringing me up here, or am I just looking for a friend? Because there's a difference, right? But when you really want to go here, and let me tell you loud and clear, there's nothing wrong with wanting a friend. There isn't. And there is absolutely a place for that on this team. But if you really want to go to the next level, Keith Callahan said he didn't go to the next level until his coach and upline started to move away from him. He's like, yeah, I'm going. And you're not. So if you're hanging here and I'm going, that means you're literally dead weight to my business. It's a little harsh, but it's true. Right? You got to go on up. You got to go on up. You got to let go of what's holding you back. You got to look in there and ask yourself, what is stopping me from being unstoppable? Do you get stopped at every little hiccup? Do you need to tell are you an oversharer? Do you need to tell everybody what's going on, what's going wrong? Do you feel like, there's these things that just keep stopping you, keep stopping you, keep stopping? You got to look that in the mirror and you got to ask yourself, like, what's up? Why am I being stopped so easily? This is the hardest part. It really is, because the truth is, like, we all have that place. I gotta look myself in the face like, hello, why are you being stopped? Why are you not? Like, it's the stuff I had to look at. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how many times I cried my face off and looked in the mirror and was like, you can do it. You've got it. But it takes reflection, and it takes, what am I willing to do? What am I willing to let go of to go to the next level? What thoughts am I willing to rebrand about myself? It really is about digging in and pushing yourself to the next level. And unfortunately, in this business, the only person that can do that is you. It really is. I wish it wasn't. I wish I could come in and be like, just push you up the hill my dang self. But nobody could do it for me either. And I had to do it for myself. And I had to learn how to climb the mountain. And can I tell you, it's like one of the most, it's definitely the top 3 experience of my entire life was doing it, because I proved something to myself in the journey of it. And I can tell you, it didn't matter how many years it took me to get there. When I got there, it was like, this is everything to me. And not for the reasons that we normally think. It wasn't that it was like, oh my gosh, because like I already felt it so deep. I already knew it was going to happen. I already knew I was going to be diamond at some point. But it was the fact that I never quit. It was the fact that I did the personal growth. I worked hard. I set myself up for accountability. Power 30 started when I was a sapphire. I wasn't even diamond. I was at 3,011 points. I had 3 people getting on this with me Monday through Friday. 3. And then all of a sudden, it just took off. And I would have missed it if I would have just quit when people stopped showing up, when people didn't want to get on, if somebody had, oh, it's the most horrible time, or if some of my leaders were, like not wanting to do it or whatever. It was just like, I just kept doing it. I was like, no, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for accountability for me, to hop on, to do personal growth, to do the work, to study the stuff. Right. And it's taking that next step of, what am I willing to do to go to the next level? Because what you're doing now isn't enough. Something needs to change, right? To take that next step. So go over that with your upline. Go over, okay, what am I missing? What are my non-negotiables? What should they be? And then would you help me be accountable to this? Or your sideline, a power partner. Whatever that looks like for you, right? Like getting in there and be like, okay, this is what I'm unwilling to do. This is what I'm willing to do. And I'm going for it. Okay. I've taken up way too much of your time. I love you guys. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was good. It's just been on my mind. And it's like, this is the stuff that I was hungry for, right? This is the stuff that I was hungry for when I was trying to build, and I felt like I was just in a perpetual place of this. So the questions you want to ask yourself: what do I know? What are my non-negotiables that are going to take me to the next, that are absolutely, unequivocally, data improved, going to take me to the next level? It's messaging. How many am I going to message a day? And then add 1 and put that on your unwilling to do list. Let that talk to you a little bit, right? I'm willing to do this. And then positioning yourself. How am I positioning myself to my team? Do they feel like I'm just a follower of another team? Do they feel like I don't know what I'm doing? How can I position myself differently? You use your social media. You shout out the wins of your team. You have your own team chat going on, and you are plugging people in like crazy, and you are doing Zoom calls with your teams, and you are talking to your team. You are in connection. You are sending a new message to every new join who's coming in. You really need to be doing that until you're senior Ruby, at least. I knew every single person on my team. This is a people business. You've got to get in there and you got to work it. 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 Okay. Much love. Love you guys. Mwah. Have a happy Monday.